Hello everyone, it's BigFriendlyWarGamer here again, as weekly do. Gonna do one of my rambles. It's actually Saturday night. I wasn't in the mood for doing it. I painted all day yesterday, got interrupted by the phone continuously because I was sorting out my references for my job. It's all good. I start Tuesday, pick the ID up Monday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, turn the camera around and give you a quick look at what I've got on my desk. Not a lot this week, but I'm hoping to get stuff finished. So, yep, I'll do that now. So, my desk is a little bit of got bits and pieces on it. Not particularly a lot. And my two completed Death Guard Rhinos that I finished yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I finished them yesterday. We've got lots of white bits that you can see here, which is another Contemptor Dreadnought for my World Eaters. As you can see, his legs are now glued to his base. The base is done. The legs need the gold doing and the silver doing. Probably going to do some of that today. That's his body. And we've got his head, which is there. His arms and his shoulders. We've got this one last Rampager who I've put the axe on now. The white's all done on him. I'm just going to paint the other colours. I'll probably do some of that today as well. His backpack is there and that's finished as well, I think. Yeah, it is. I've got a load of these doors which are from Zone Mortalis. I'm going to do absolutely nothing with them. They're sitting there because I took them out of a case and I've got nowhere to put them. And I've got my normal drop pod. The drop pod that is going to sit on my desk forever and a day. Let's grab that guy's shoulder pad. But yeah, so not a hell of a lot sitting on my desk this week. But it's because I'm planning to get models finished rather than start new stuff. So I want to get this Contemptor finished, which I might do finish tomorrow. Get this Rampager finished, which I should do today. It's quite close to being done. Yeah, then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the whole populate my desk with a load of stuff again. I need to clear the desk off because like I said, I've got to find a home for these and I need to tidy stuff up. But we'll see. I'm going to put the camera on my stand and start painting. Right, so it's about 6:20, so it's quite late in the evening. I'm gonna just paint. What we're gonna do is start off the gold on this guy. So what I'm actually gonna do is just arrange all my dreadnought bits at the back of my desk so it's not in the way, and that can go up there. That can go up there. Right, cool. Okay, so we're going to start with Socrox Bronze because this is how I paint the gold on these guys. So yeah, it's been a good week. It's finished my training for my new job, got all my references sorted out, and I start on Tuesday. Really happy about it. Not nervous like I normally have been when I've started new jobs, but actually kind of looking forward to starting, so it's good. Yeah, I finished my training on Thursday. Lots of computer work, but that's okay. I've done a little bit of painting this week, not a hell of a lot. I mean, yesterday I finished the 2 rhinos off. I started painting this Contemptor as well as magnetising it. The arms are all magnetised and stuff. But yeah, I've not done a hell of a lot, just bits and pieces. Can't actually remember what I was painting last week. The Tactical Marines, I think. Finished them. So it's good that I'm putting stuff on my desk and actually finishing it rather than getting halfway through it and then putting it away for later. So I'm trying to think up what to paint next. Yes, I'm enjoying painting my World Eaters, but I'm kind of haven't got a hell of a lot left of them to paint. I don't know. I really want to paint some. I think I should paint some Blood Angels again. Start on some of the bigger vehicles, maybe a Land Raider. Yeah, I just decided for my 30k army, I'm just going to use all my 40k tanks. Like, I'm sure people won't mind. Especially at game at our club. We're quite a relaxed club. We don't take things too seriously, so I've got 2 games of Heresy lined up for Monday. One will be against Emperor's Children. The other one, I think, is against Space Wolves. But we'll see. I'm going to be trying out a few new bits. Now that I've got one of my Predators painted, I want to try the rest of them out. So, yeah, I'm gonna try and field the Predators, even though they're not going to be fully painted. But that's okay. Do the gold on the shoulder pad as well. I did promise myself that once I got the 3 squads of World Eaters finished, that I'd get the 3 Predators done. So I probably should jump on them. I mean, the base coating's done. It's just stippling the white to get the armour done. Doing the magnets on the weapons and making a start on the blue armour and stuff. Oh, no, damn. That's it, I broke my Rampager. Right, if you give me a moment, I'll be right back. Right, sorry about that. Had a minor accident, but it's sorted now. In a way, it's kind of good that he come apart like he did. Annoying that he come off his base, but I've glued him back to his base. Just leaving that to dry for a little while. The axe coming off and the arm coming off wasn't too big a deal, so I'm just going to leave him to dry on his base. And hopefully get back to painting him later on. But I'm in Games Workshop in Uxbridge tomorrow, getting some painting done. And I'm in a bit of a, I'm not sure what to take, so we'll see. Right, since I made such a mess of that Rampager jumping off my desk, I'm gonna get some gold painted onto this Contemptor Dreadnought instead. So yeah, I started magnetising this guy last night and decided to, or yesterday during the day, decided to get him undercoated and start painting him. So I did. Got the white mostly finished. Some of it is a bit, the white is a bit gritty. Like the ceramite white, when it starts to dry, it goes quite thick and lumpy. And I did my absolute best to break it down and make it a usable pot of paint, but I think I've still got a bit of lumpiness in it. So it looks okay from a distance. You can't tell. It'll be fine once he's fully painted, but I'll know. So, but it's okay. It's fine. Once he's fully painted, he'll look perfectly fine, and go with my other 3 Contemptor Dreadnoughts. This one's going to be double chain fist with double melter gun. So he's going to be another close combat monster like the the first one that I did. Yeah, quite a while ago now. So yeah, this one's more of an advanced walking pose than the other Contemptors I've done. With the amount of them that I've built, I've learnt a few kind of ways of posing them, so this one is probably going to be my best looking one, although I'm going to probably, with the white, the paint job may be a bit wonky, but it'll be okay. It will be fine. So yeah, as I was saying, I've got 2 games of Heresy arranged for Monday, sorry. Should both be quite a laugh. I mean, if I had my way and there was enough opponents around, I'd be playing Heresy most weeks, but I'm not going to be at the club every week now, I don't think, so we'll see. We'll see how I feel after my first shift, because after this coming Monday, the following Monday, the Monday is my last day on shift, so see how tired I'm feeling. I might go to the club, I might not, I don't know yet. But yeah, I've still got a Leviathan to build. Well, not build, finish building. He is his body is all fully built. I just got to finish. I got to do his arms and magnetise them. And I've had some people say, why bother with magnetising all these models? And I'm like, well, say for example, like at the moment, there's a new. You can take a new HQ choice for Legion Astartes in Heresy. And he can take a squad of Dreadnoughts as his bodyguard. So if you're going to do something like that, you're not going to want to have all your Dreadnoughts equipped like really randomly, you know what I mean? So for example, I've got 2 Dreadnoughts which are close combat Dreadnoughts now, which is including this one. One which is mid-range, he's got an assault cannon and a chain fist. And I've got another one who's got 2 las cannons. So what I'd probably do is I'll switch it so that you had 2 with las cannon and power fist. Then the other one would have assault cannon and chain fist, and then this one would have 2 chain fists. So yeah, I think just you want to have it so that they're kind of good at one thing, but not terrible at anything. So we will see. And at some point I would really like to try running that. Don't know how effective it would be. I know it'd be scary as hell, but yeah, we will see in the future. So that's that. Do the second layer on his shoulder pad with the gold. With this Socrox bronze, I've got a certain way of painting the gold on my World Eaters. The Socrox bronze is actually a layer paint, so it doesn't sit very well on top of an undercoat, so you have to give it 2 layers. But that's okay. Even when you put it on white, it shows through. The white shows through quite a lot, and as does the black. So do 2 layers of it. And then I'll do a second layer on the Contemptor's legs as well. Now this does look like a very pale sort of watery gold, if that makes any sense. It's not a very strong colour, but once you shade, dry brush it and give it a glaze afterwards, it does look like quite a strong bronze. So yeah, that's why I like using it, because it's just a simple but effective way of getting the colour I want. Like I said, I've been trying to figure out what I want to paint next, and I'm fairly close to my Blackstone Fortress set being complete. I've only got a few models left for that, so I could jump on that. I mean, the Silver Tower characters, I had the whole plan of buying them all, but the Silver Tower seems to have been kind of discarded by Games Workshop now, which is a shame, because it was a nice game. A bit limited, but it was still a nice game. And I have loads of characters for it. Still got loads and loads to paint. I like the idea of it because it was a good mix of different things to paint. You weren't just painting like all Space Marines or something like that, so and that's why I was enjoying Blackstone Fortress as well. So but I don't know. I might go back to what I was doing before, do a bit of mix and match, and have a couple of Blackstone Fortress models, some Blood Angels, some World Eaters, some Chaos Space Marines, that kind of thing. I don't know. Just sometimes it's a case of, like I have been recently, I've been wanting to paint World Eaters, so I've been painting World Eaters. Just sometimes you just paint what you want to paint, and other times it's nice to have a selection in front of you. So yeah. Right, so that's the gold base coated on the legs and on the Rampager. So I think I'm going to carry on the gold on the body of the Contemptor, because why not? But what I need to do is put him on a hold, a handle thing. So the white is okay, so cool. Yeah, I'll just do it like that. Bit of blue tack, blob of blue tack on the base, and I can work at the arm, at the plates that I need to get to. I've had a quite lazy day today. I mean, after doing all the rushing around with work and the training in the past couple of weeks, it just all kind of caught up with me today, and so I went and got my hair cut because I've got to be kind of presentable for the ID pass. Went to Hounslow, got a few bits and pieces, and come home, and I decided to start making some buildings out of my Sector Mechanicus terrain. So I thought I had loads. Turns out I've got a decent amount, but not loads. And I'm going to need more if I want to make the kind of board that I want to make. I know there's a load coming with Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. I may end up buying a few extra copies of that, but we'll see. It's basically I haven't got any bits to make walkways. Well, I have got a few bits, but not a lot. Really short on the actual legs for the supports, the support legs. So yeah, I want to be able to make a battlefield that is really dense terrain, so that when I play games like Necromunda, the terrain is actually useful. So I know with 40k the terrain doesn't matter, doesn't really mean anything anymore. And it's a shame. But in 30k terrain means stuff. And in Necromunda it means a hell of a lot. It makes it quite difficult to hit your target if you're shooting through terrain and stuff, so and I like a board that's covered in terrain anyway, so obviously you need to leave space for your tanks to get through and stuff, but tanks shouldn't be able to get everywhere anyway, so that's fine. So yeah, so I just want to be able to have a really packed gaming board when I finally have enough space to actually have one set up, that is. Which I don't know, with this job, the new job, it's a possibility now that I could maybe get my own place. Like, not straight away, obviously. I would have to be in the job for a while, but the possibility's there now. A couple of years maybe. We'll see. So yeah, just this round here. Again, I've got to do a second coat on this with this gold, but that's okay because I've got plenty of it there. I was trying to think of a way to paint this differently from my other Contemptors. Now with my other ones, they've all got different patches of blue on them. Some are on the legs, some are on the arms or the thigh plates. Basically what I'm going to do with this one is he is just going to be all white except for his shoulder pads. His shoulder pads are going to be blue. Gonna incorporate some red into him somehow, but I'm not sure how yet. He's supposed to be a Red Butcher Contemptor, so quite a maniac almost. But we'll see. We'll see once I've got him to a stage where he's nearly finished, see how I put him together and stuff like that. So let's start the second layer. So yeah, tomorrow we've got WrestleMania. Now, in the past few months, since I give up work back in end of November, I've kind of gotten into wrestling again. It's something me and my brother used to watch together, and I've started watching it again. And more than the fact that it's wrestling, I'm just finding it quite funny. It's almost like comedy. So I don't know if I'm going to bother to get WrestleMania because it's 20 quid. Obviously I wouldn't stay up and watch it all. I'd watch some and then I'd probably record the whole program anyway. This is a long program. It's going to be from, I would say, it's going to go from midnight till about, probably till about 6 in the morning. But I don't know. We'll see. So I might, because I've got to get my whole body clock into the night pattern again. So staying up to watch some of it while I'm painting might be a good thing. Probably is a very good thing to do. A good idea anyway. So yeah, I'll probably watch that. And then when I get home from the club on Monday, I can jump into doing some more painting and finish watching WrestleMania while Raw records. And I can watch that Tuesday while I paint before I go to work. So I'll be almost back to normal. Back to normal for me anyway. I had all this idea of putting these chains on this guy because the Red Butchers are they're basically a group of Terminators who are the Marines that are driven mad by the Butcher's nails from the World Eaters, with the implants in their head. They're locked in these Terminator suits that they don't have control of, and they're sent out to war as basically just rampaging madmen. And that's exactly what I wanted this Dreadnought to be, except that it would have been a bit of conversion work. And I got a little bit too eager to actually paint him, so I'm not bothering with the conversion work. He doesn't need it anyway, so it'll be fine. So So yeah, so next time I'm doing one of these, which will be next Friday hopefully, I will be at work the following night. Well, at work that night anyway. Basically, I'm going to be working from Tuesday to the following Monday, and then I've got 3 days off, so it is a little bit of a weird shift pattern, but it's something I'm going to get used to. It might take me a little bit of time, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Right, so just waiting for that gold to dry a little bit, because I missed a couple of bits, so I hit them on my second time round, and now I just got to give them their second coat. Okay. Right, so I'm gonna do the dry brushing, I think. Clean this palette off and yeah, do the dry brushing on the gold. Once I've got that done, I can actually start working on the details. The dry brushing can make the gold a bit messy, but it's not too bad. I can normally clean it up with a bit of ceramite white, so it's not a problem. For that, I've got Golden Griffin. Again, I don't know why I'm shaking this pot, because it's a dry paint, but habit. Go over the larger dry brush. Just need to break the bristles up a little bit. So do the Rampager first. And all this does is just brings out a little bit of a highlight on the model, on the gold. And then the glaze, once I hit it with the glaze, it will show the highlight better, and it looks more like a bronze. It does, like I said, it makes it a bit messy, the gold, so I have to clean it up a little bit, but it's not too much of a problem. And now on the guy's shoulder pad as well. It's easier on the shoulder pad because it's the first colour that I've done on it, so it's no mess. Well, the mess that it makes I'm going to paint over anyway, so don't have to worry too much. And this guy only ever has one shoulder pad. Rampagers only ever have one. I could have put a second one on, but I just didn't want to. It looks cool without it. Okay, and then onto the Contemptor's legs. I just want to be a bit careful with this because I don't want the Contemptor's legs to come off of its base anymore. It's already come off a couple of times. I think I've got it now, so it shouldn't come off at all, but I just want to make sure that it doesn't. And of course, these are resin bases that I buy from a company called Tiny World Miniatures, I think they're called. Really like their resin bases. All of my World Eaters are on the same set of bases. Even the bigger models, they do bases for all sizes. So even my Leviathan has got the same kind of base. And I just paint it, spray it grey, shade it with Nuln Oil, and then give it a couple of dry brushes, one Longbeard grey and then Terminus Stone, and then Longbeard grey again, and it's done. Paint the rim black and it's sorted. You have a Dreadnought base. This was something I'd been thinking about for ages. I hadn't ever bought resin bases before. That's why with my Blood Angels my bases can look a bit bland, and I like these ones, so I've got loads of them. I bought massive stock of them so that when I do, if I expand my World Eaters anymore and they go out of production, I've still got loads. So I could have used these on my Blood Angels as well, but I didn't think about that too much. I just started building them and putting them on normal bases, so my bad, but oh well. I haven't finished too many of them, so it wouldn't take too much to just take them off their bases and put them onto resin ones. I might actually do that. If I ever get around to actually painting my Blood Angels, that is for Heresy. So keep hitting the World Eaters. So it's just nice. I've played good armies for quite often in 40k and stuff, and playing what is fundamentally a bad army in Heresy is quite nice. Because World Eaters are one of the bad guys, and they're quite vicious bad guys, so I quite enjoy. They work to my play style fairly well, which is get up in your opponent's face. Which is weird. My Blood Angels should be playing like that as well for 40k, and they never do. Because of the models that I have painted, they never do. So they sit back a lot. But anyway, let's go just do the highlights on the gold on the model, the body now. Yes, there's some bits on this that I'll have to go over with a brush again. It's just sometimes the sponge just won't reach bits that you want it to reach, which is fine. That's what the dry brush is for later, for helping tidy up and stuff like that. Like this will need some tidying up. The gold, like I said, the dry brush can make quite a mess, but I'm not too fussed. I can tidy it up near the end. It's not a problem. So one thing you got to realise: never look at a model when you're halfway through it, or when you've completed a stage, and if it doesn't look how you want it to look, right? Don't get disheartened by it. Just make it better. There's times when I look at something and it's like, wow, I've messed that up quite well. Finish the steps, get it complete, and you'll see it looks so much better when it's actually finished than when it does part way through. Just don't get. I mean, I've heard some people online saying about how they're thinking of giving up the hobby because their painting isn't any good. It's just patience. Everyone who does this hobby, you've got to have a certain level of patience, purely because it's not a quick fix thing. I mean, fair enough, you've got ways you can make it a quick fix. You send it to commission painters, get them to paint it. But if you're in it for the long haul and you actually want to paint yourself, just do it. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. Just get down and do it. And it took me years to actually get my painting to a level that I was happy at. I mean, you think I started painting in very late, the early 90s. So it wasn't until Lord of the Rings came out that my painting started picking up. So that was probably 10 years after I'd started actually painting that I was actually being happy with my paint jobs. You don't get discouraged. I mean, we all start somewhere. You look at the best football players, the best race car drivers, motorcyclists, gymnasts. They didn't start out brilliant. No one does. Well, saying no one does, you do get some people that are freaks, but that you shouldn't be calling them freaks. They're just born lucky. But the rest of us have to work at stuff, and as long as you're getting something out of it, then keep at it. You know, whether it's, I mean, Games Workshop just put a thing up about what does Warhammer mean to you, and for me it's community. I mean, totally community. If it wasn't for the community, I wouldn't be doing this hobby anymore. I would have stopped a long time ago. Right, so I'm going to go back a step and I'm going to do some more Socrox Bronze, because I've just realised I haven't done the guy's the Contemptor's head. So I need to do that. So again, Socrox Bronze on the palette. But yeah, my videos should return more to normal the next couple of weeks. I know they've been coming up late. I know I used to do my ramble on a Tuesday, but it just works out better doing it on a Friday now. My Death Guard painting videos generally go out on a Tuesday when I've got back from the club, and it will be even easier to do that now that I'm going to be working nights. So basically what I can do is I can have the videos uploading while I'm at work. So because I'm going to be on nights, like, it's not going to be interrupting anyone else's use of the Wi-Fi, so it should be fine. See, this is the thing. I was reluctant to actually get this painting done today, to do the video. And now I'm painting. I actually want to get this Contemptor finished. So it's all about having that little bit of a push to get started. Sometimes you can get put off, and you can put it off and put it off and put it off. If you start something, more often than not, you're going to want to see it through. So It's a good thing. But again, I'm going to have to leave this a few minutes for the first layer to dry, so I can do a second layer. Brush off while I'm doing that. So the gold's actually come out quite nice on the Contemptor and the Rampager. So you can see the gold there. I've actually missed a bit on the Contemptor as well, so I'm going to do that now. I have times like this when I miss bits. It's just the little planet in the World Eaters symbol. It's quite annoying when you do it with Space Marines and you see they've got skulls everywhere, and you end up going back and missing a skull and doing another one and missing another skull, and yeah, it can be a bit frustrating, but it's okay. And that needs leaving a little bit longer before the gold is dry. But yeah, so I thought I'd show you these. They're my two Death Guard Rhinos. They're a little bit kit bashed. I generally don't kit bash models. I build them as they are out of the box. But really quite happy with how they've ended up. Again, they're going to go into my Death Guard case now. Well, at some point eventually, if I can find space for them, that is. One thing I've been noticing just of late is my case space is really quite limited. So I'm considering buying a new case for, say, my Necrons. Because I think if I get a big enough case, and it'll cost me a bit, but it's okay, I could get all of my Necrons in one case, which would be great. So at the moment they're across 3 or 4. So I mean, it'll be an extendable case like my World Eaters are in, but it would be really quite useful to compact them down a little bit. So let's do the symbol on the knee. It should be dry enough now, so I can do a second layer. The head of the Contemptor. I mean, if Games Workshop still sold their old cases, that I'd be buying them, but just their new cases are terrible. I mean, the smaller ones are okay. It's when you're transporting like Blood Bowl team or something like that, that's fine, but no, their new cases are really quite bad. There's one patch on this Contemptor's head that doesn't seem to want to hold the paint very well. Oh, that's better. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's do the symbol on his shoulder again as well. So yeah, I've been watching some Heresy battle reports on Mini Wargaming of late. They've been putting out we're putting out 1 or 2 a week, or 2 a week actually. But they're really confusing their 40k and 30k rules a lot now, which is a shame, but I suppose it was going to happen with them playing so much 40k. But it is what it is. I'm going to look around for some other 30k channels on YouTube. I enjoy watching 30k battle reports. I just find the game's more engrossing than 40k. So yeah, I watch them. I can't remember the last time I watched a 40k battle report. Whether on Mini Wargaming or any of the other Facebook channels I watch. Just I don't find them interesting. It's not because of the way that the actual presenters are doing it. It's just the game mechanics are they're not tactical anymore. So don't get me wrong, I'll play 40k. I like playing 40k, but it's the people you're playing against that make the game. I think in 40k. So right, I'm gonna hit that dry brush again. And I think it's more or less going to be me. It's going to be the end of the video for the week. So I've got some stuff done, not a huge amount, but it's better than just watching me sponging white paint, which is the last few videos have been. There may be some more of that because I'm going to try and get those Predators finished in the next few weeks or so. I know it's not particularly entertaining, but it might help someone down the line to how to paint white. You never know. I've had people ask me how I paint my white a lot of times, and I've told them, so it might be helpful for someone. I'll tell you one thing, I do need some new kitchen roll because this is a bit knackered now. Right, and just gonna do the gold on the head, the Contemptor's head. Actually, so I'm thinking about getting some new paintbrushes, some new Winsor Newton paintbrushes. My ones are quite knackered. I bought them. Well, they're over a year old now. It's not saying no excuses for how I use them, but I do use them quite roughly. Then they're nice brushes, Winsor Newton brushes. Wish this head would stay on its cork. They are a bit expensive, but I just find they're better than Games Workshop ones. Certain Games Workshop ones I like. The dry brushes are great. And the extra small yeah. The really small brush is good as well. But the others I just generally don't use because Winsor Newton do them better, and they're more expensive, but it is what it is. Right, so what I could do now is put the shade across the gold, which I've got 10 minutes, so I'm going to do that. And again, this is my World Eater shade. This is the blue-black medium mix that I make. Let's switch these over because I don't want metallic flakes in it. I did make loads of this at one point, and this is my last pot, so I've actually got to make some more. So let's start on the Rampager. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I've got to do the blue first on the Rampager. So I'm going to call the video there for this week, I think. Thank you very much if you've sat and listened to me talking crap again. like you seem to enjoy doing. If you like watching my videos, listen to me rambling on while I'm painting. If it helps you out, throw me a subscribe. It's great, because I'm on 49 subscribers. I would love to get to 50, but there you go. And I will hope to see you same time. Well, won't be same time next week because it'll be Friday next week, but we'll see. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye bye.